is up, Metal Trenches fans? It is Flight of Icarus, doing something a little different today, a little experiment. I'm gonna do a little quick review of just one album, super original. I know, nobody else on YouTube does that, right? But as always, if you're new to the channel, please do hit that subscribe button if you enjoy it. Let us know what you think in the comments. Depending on the reaction, this may be a one-off thing, or maybe I'll do more in the future when I have time. But I thought it would be fun to talk a little bit about the new Born of Osiris album. I try to focus my Trench Talk episodes and most of my writing skewed in favor of more underground releases, things that you're not going to hear from the big site and kind of need more attention. But I think it's valuable to cover some bigger stuff that I do still enjoy to, one, just, give credit where it's due, and two, to draw in fans of more accessible popular stuff and then expose them to these more underground releases. So anyways, Born of Osiris dropped another album through Sumerian Records. It's called The Simulation. If you're not familiar with them, somehow this is a symphonic deathcore band. They're kind of interesting in that they didn't really start out like that. Like right now, I'd kind of compare them to things like Within the Ruins, Winds of Plague, and even to an extent Suicide Silence. But when they first came out, they were kind of a tech death band, really. Much more death metal influence, much heavier, straight up death growls all the way through, heavy pounding riffs. I really felt that they kind of struck their peak of that sound with The Discovery, which is just an all-around amazing album. And that saw them incorporating more melodic elements and was kind of sort of the beginning of the direction they took later on. But yeah, they've definitely changed a lot over time. Definitely become a lot more kind of mainstream sounding. The deathcore elements really took over, and they've sort of abandoned. They're still a technical band, but they've abandoned the sort of heavier, more purist sound for something that's definitely more mainstream. And this particularly comes through with the synths. Over time, these synths have become much more, I would even say, like, danceable. I even used the term rave-worthy in my written review, and I think that's fair, particularly on the song Under the Gun, which initially I hated, but I have to admit it's really grown on me because it's super catchy. But it's got this this sound that sounds like something out of a mainstream like pop rap song or something that you'd hear on the radio now. Or Skrillex definitely came to mind. Like, I can think of a few Skrillex songs that definitely have had very similar synths. It's this very bouncy, like dun 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 dun. We said we wanted a little bit lighter. As silly and mainstream as it is, I cannot deny just how catchy it is. It totally gets under my skin, and I bob my head to it, and then the heavier vocals kick in and the guitars, and it's just, if you're okay with poppier stuff, if you're not a metal purist, you can get down with it. And that's what I've come to like about these guys, is that they've been kind of more and more of like what I call a guilty pleasure over the years. I'm almost embarrassed to like tell people that I like Born of Osiris, but I've just come to accept that this is what they are now. Like, this is the sound that they're going for, and I shouldn't have to feel bad about it. You shouldn't have to feel bad about anything you listen to. In fact, I was at the Encephalum show the other day, and I was talking to this younger person about bands, and I talked about how I can't stand Five Finger Death Punch, and the kid kind of looked down, looking a little bit ashamed, really. And it was clear that they really like Five Finger Death Punch. And I was like, hey, man, you do you. You like what you want. I'm not saying that, like, they're awful and that I have this, like, objective opinion that should be the law. Like, you like it for whatever reason, and that works for you. Enjoy what you like. It annoys me when a scene becomes toxic in that it just becomes another uniform. It becomes another kind of like fascistic regime where it's like, no, you have to dress this way and like these bands and you're not allowed to like these things. Like, to me, there's nothing less metal or less punk than that. If you've got people telling you how you should be within the scene, that's kind of fucked up. So if people tell you that you shouldn't like something, fuck them. I definitely share opinions all the time on stuff that I think is shit. I saw a comment that they later deleted on my video where I was kind of making fun of the trailer for Lords of Chaos, which I think looks like a garbage movie. And this person got like really upset about it. And in my head, I'm not even going to respond to those people because I don't want to draw attention to it. But for me, I'm just like, you do you, man. If you want to see the movie, if you think you'll enjoy it, go see it. Don't worry about me. Like, I'm a cynical, jaded asshole. It's fine. Don't let other people make you upset. People can like what they like and not like what they like. And that's the bottom line with Born of Osiris for me, is, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, I feel like there's nobody else that does this sound as well as Born of Osiris. If you're looking for really catchy, well-written, still decently technical music that's, you know, deathcore, but also kind of appeals to more of a radio accessible sound, Born of Osiris is the way to go. I definitely argue nobody else does it half as well as them. And that's why I really enjoy The Simulation. I don't think it's their best album. It's not going to come anywhere near touching my albums of the year. And remember, like, if you're familiar with the site, I do 2 list periods. I do 6 months. I do 6 months into the year for the first half, and then I do the final half. And for each of those, I do 3 lists of 10 for each of our rating scales. So that's 60 albums I cover as the top albums of the year. This will not make that list because it's, you know, it's familiar. It's not particularly innovative. It's not really doing anything particularly special. However, it's fun. It's a really fun album. If you're looking for a fun album, this is the one for you. If you're looking for something heavier, more intense, you don't mix your peanut butter with your chocolate, then probably stay away from it. But I always encourage people to form their own opinions. So I love it. The Simulation from Born of Osiris, Sumerian Records, really fun stuff. Personal favorite tracks, The Accursed, Analogues in a Cell, and Silence in the Echo. But honestly, I put almost every track from this album in my iTunes playlist, and it is damn good workout fuel. Let me tell you, I had a hard time taking it out of the rotation because pretty much every time I went to the gym to lift weights, this was what I was putting on, and I just kept it on repeat, and I definitely upped all of my weight while I was doing that. So great for the gym, great for driving, great for like going for a run, anything active. Also, background of like a party or something, people just having a good time. Perfect album for that. But obviously, there's going to be people who disagree. There's going to be people who look at this title and be like, oh, you're sharing this mainstream radio band. You're not really metal. Fuck you. Fuck you, asshole, if you're one of those people. Like what you like. I enjoy this. There's room in this world for me to enjoy this and also enjoy Alterage, Noctambulist, Ulcerate, Panopticon, Mayhem, whatever. Like what you like. Don't let people mess with your head. So that's all. Let me know what you think in the comments, and if you want to see more of these, by all means, let me know. You can also tell me on our social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Vero. Have a great day. Do whatever the fuck you want.